Hello and welcome to the Get Wisdom Challenge. This is the last day, day 31. We are looking at Proverbs chapter 31. So today I want to read the passage where it talks about the virtuous wife. So Proverbs 31 from verse 10, and I will read all the way to the end. Okay, so who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and willingly works with her hands. She is like the merchant ships that she brings her food from afar. She also rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and a portion for her maidservants. She considers a field and buys it. From her profits she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength and strengthens her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good, and her lamp does not go out by night. She stretches out her hand to the distaff, and her hand holds the spindle. She extends her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches out her hand to the needy. She is not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household is clothed with scarlet. She makes tapestry for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies sashes for the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing. She shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue is the way of kindness. She watches over the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many daughters have done well, but you excel them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. When I read this, I'm always a bit overwhelmed by such a high standard. Verse 10 says, who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. And then it goes on to explain this virtuous wife, all that she does. But the thing that stood out for me today that I had never noticed is that I don't know who King Lemuel is, honestly, but these are the words which his mother taught him. This is the type of woman you should look for if you were to look for a virtuous wife. She should be able to do all these things. Now, when you read all these things that this woman does, you can feel like you haven't done much with your life. And I think, can a woman really do all this? And is it really realistic? That I don't know. Maybe it is. But I think my takeaway lesson from this is that this woman, a virtuous wife, she is, it talked about idleness. It talks about laziness. She's not idle. She sees opportunities and she takes them. She plans ahead. She thinks about her household. She thinks about her maidservants, those that she hires. She thinks about other people. She is a hard worker. I don't think this verse is telling us that we should be able to do all these things that this woman does. Some of us, we're not good. Some people are not good with their hands. Better you pay somebody to do, that than you try to do it yourself. But what it's saying is that what you have, what you're able to do it. Plan for the future. Think about your household. Think about other people. I think that's what makes a virtuous wife a virtuous wife. I don't think it's so much about all that she does, but the fact that she's able to take what she has, the opportunities that come her way, and use it in a good way. We might not all have the same opportunities as this woman described here, but the opportunities that come our way, let us make sure that we use them for our good, for the good of our families, for the good of those around us as well. And something else that stood out to me is towards the end, how, it's calling Children, if verse 28, her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. And then it says how he blesses her. So it was a good reminder for us to praise as children. I don't care if you're 20 years old or if you're 40 years old. If your parents are still alive, if your mom is still alive, praise her. It says her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Husband, also praise your wife. If you're praising her, is that you're noticing what she's doing. And I think that's for the first important point, is that, partners, let us notice what the others are doing. It's easy to focus on what they're not doing, but I know that there's a lot that our partners are doing that we tend to take for granted. So this verse is reminding me that for my partner, for my husband, I should, remember all the things that he does for me, for my children, for the family, for even other people. And I should thank him for that. Take the time to thank him, because I mentioned it's easy to pick on what the other person doesn't do. But this verse is reminding us to praise our partners for what they do. And it talks about in verse 30, charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. The exterior, the beauty on all that stuff will pass away. As they say, at one point, gravity catches up with everyone. But a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. She will leave a legacy behind her that will outlive her. And that is my prayer for all of us, that we would be partners, we would be spouses that will leave a legacy behind that would outlive us, that we won't just be interested in doing, but that we would be interested in building a legacy, building and instilling in our children things that will outlive us. So I know that this is a verse that we like to use on Mother's Day. But let's not wait for Mother's Day to honor our parents. Let's not wait for any special occasion to honor the good that we see in our spouses. Today is a day that we're breathing, we're alive. It is a good day to think and pause and reflect on what our partners do, how blessed we are, how they've been a blessing to us, and to praise them and to thank God for them. So that's it. We are done with the Get Wisdom Challenge. Thank you so much for joining me on this month-long challenge. I do believe the Lord really wanted for me to do this challenge for me first and foremost. I have been so blessed, and I pray that you were too. As I mentioned yesterday, as we're starting a new month, start the challenge. Take another version if you want to. Every day you can read one chapter of Proverbs per day. As you continue with your regular Bible studies, it will make for a good pause during your day where you can connect in a fresh way with the Lord and just hear what he is saying. The word of God is alive. He speaks to us through his word. And if anything, this challenge has reminded us that, Proverbs was written a long time ago. But see how much we've been able to learn and how much it has at least impacted my life, that there are things that are changed, that there's revelations that I've gotten, the way that I'm thinking is different. And I believe that I've known God a whole lot more through his word. So thank you once again. And, I just pray that you would continually remember that you are known and you are loved, and that you would continue with the Lord today and always. God bless you.